Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM Sports Talk. I'm your host, Tom Nappy. On today's edition, we take a look at some of the recent happenings in Hopkinton Hiller winter sports. We have some of the best highlights of the winter so far, plus a whole lot more. And don't forget, you can check out our NFL picks for the upcoming NFL playoff games on our website, hcam.tv. We'll have our NFL picks posted by the end of the week, and you can also follow along and see how we're doing. But for now, here are some of the latest Hiller happenings. On Monday, January 5th, Hiller girls basketball hosted Bellingham in their first game of 2026. Wally Henneberry and myself, Tom Nappy, on the call. We have a big opportunity to take control of this game. Rabinovich firing it out as they work around the perimeter. Simulus for three. There you go. Gabby Simulus already 5 points tonight. She has a couple field goals. Simulus up top to Restaghini. Back to Simulus for three. Got it. A nice bucket there by the sophomore, Gabby Simulus. She has a team-leading 8 points so far. It's knocked away. A steal and a quick break by Riesenberger. Gets it over to the wing, and now a three-ball. Restaghini got it.
Sophia White and Krause out. When they get the ball in the high post to Rabinovich, she turns to look, and
three-ball.
Her partner's not there.
Oh, there it is. Murphy, Chet, and Gurette. Missed Kaylee Hayes' shot. Rabinovich able to corral it in. 8 seconds left to go in the corner. Hopkinton looking for the buzzer beater, and there it is. Gabby Simulus knocking down the three. And the Hillers have their biggest lead of the night right at the halftime buzzer. No good, falls out. Rabinovich battling for it, loose ball, and Rabinovich able to pull it away. Gets it to Restaghini. A long pass up to the offensive corner, and now a feed to the wing, and Restaghini knocks it down for three. 12 points for Teagan. Back to Simulus, looking to drive down. Evan Krause, around the perimeter they go. Restaghini gets it back. Simulus for three, got it! Gabby Simulus up to 16 points on the night. Chet and Gurette gets it over. Restaghini for three, yes! Teagan Restaghini feeling it. Balance over to Bearfield, down to the corner. Riesenberger for three, drains it.
I was going to call that a two.
Oh, yeah, I guess her foot got a piece of the line there.
Yeah, long two.
The Hillers captured the 60-32 win in dominant fashion. Gabby Simulus had 18 points. Teagan Restaghini added 17 points as the Hillers improved to 6-0 on the season. On Wednesday, January 7th, Hiller boys basketball hosted Norton. Steve Spector and Mike Tarosian on the call.
There you go, play. Deep three, in and out. Rocco Spinelli is feeling it. Wide open again, why not? Let it go. Yeah. And he nails it.
That's sweet.
One-hand runner off the glass, very nice. And a deep three, and it's good. Josh Kim, nice response. Wide open. Oh, it's a nice shot by Connor Guyan. He was hoping his teammate would move for the ball. Oh, there it is. Gavin Cho using his body beautifully. The team reacts here because the Hillers are a little flat right now.
Score here, the timeout's coming on the next bucket.
Oh, that's a big one. And nice response by Tori Alster-Mahal after a turnover, comes back and hits a three-pointer. That was a big shot. Rebound by the Hillers. Connor McNally over to Evie. Oh, too bad.
Nice rebound.
I'm sorry, that was Connor Guyan. Hillers moving the ball, looking for a seam. Deep three. And it's good.
Wow, that was pretty.
Rocco Spinelli, after about 7 passes, nails a three-pointer. That's about his second or third one tonight. I lost track.
The Hillers capture the 78-59 win and improve to 5-2 on the season. Also that Wednesday, Hiller boys hockey hosted Dover Sherborne, looking for their first home win of the season. Dover Sherborne led 1-0 heading into the second period. Thomas Slam with it, a nice feed there. That shot turned away. Off the rebound, it's put in. Here come the Hillers, looking to get something going. Merkel along the near side, takes it around the net, trying to stuff it in, and he will! What a beauty by Connor Merkel, just whipping around everybody, takes it around the net, and had the goaltender completely tricked there as he brought it around at all kinds of open space on the glove side, and he is able to make it a 2-1 game with 57 seconds left in the second period. Rivera puts it towards the net. Jolie trying to pick it up along the end boards, leaves it behind, into the slot, and how about that? How about another one? Matt Pajoli ties the game up. That was just some terrific ping-pong passing there by the Hillers. And they make it 2-2 at 30 seconds left to go. Make it a 2-2 game. Hopkinton in the white, Dover Sherborne in the black, and the Hillers with some pressure right off the bat. They're gonna just continue on with the goal scoring. Parker Rivera gives the Hillers a lead. Parker Rivera bringing the heat, and 23 seconds in to the third period, the Hopkinton Hillers lead it 3-2. Merkel back to Ian Tosca. Now along the end boards, Resnick. Resnick to Merkel, back to Resnick. And Ian Tosca sends it over. Pedrelli with the shot, and the Hillers have a score! Just tremendous passing by the Hillers. And Tosca sends it out to Pajoli, and Pajoli puts it in at 7:44 left to go in the third period. Two more Hiller goals in the third, and the Hopkinton Hillers take the 4-2 win. Matt Pajoli had 2 goals for the Hillers in their win. Hopkinton improves to 4-3. Dover Sherborne falls to 3-4. On Thursday, January 8th, Hiller boys and girls swimming hosted Dedham. The Hiller boys improved to 2-1 on the season with a 89-67 win. The Hiller girls fell just short. Dedham takes the 91-73 win. The Hopkinton girls are now 0-3 on the season. Also that Thursday, Hiller Alpine Ski had their first meet of the season at the Ski Award. John Ritz was at the scene to capture the action.
Either Thompson, 23.31 on the red course for 804, Ryan Cunningham from Hopkinton. Time for the number 505, Zachary Porchetti, 26.13 on the blue course for 805, Ethan Fowler from Hopkinton. Time for the number 704, Olivia Brideau, 26.25 on the red course number 906, Alexandra Feingold from Algonquin.
The Hiller boys team finished third place overall. Hiller girls finished 7th. Top finishes for the Hiller boys included Barry O'Brien had a 4th place finish, and Patrick Meehan finished 14th. For the Hiller girls, Caitlin Larry finished 16th, and Alexandra Cohen finished 24th. On Friday, January 9th, Hiller boys basketball hosted Westwood. Mike Terosian and myself, Tom Nappy, on the call.
Ortiz on the entry, just gets it in time.
Mariano Alejandro able to feed it to midcourt to Rodman. Now the pass to the short corner. Pindell feeds it out. Here's Ortiz. Back to Pindell. 3-ball. Yes. Ty Pindell has 8 points for Westwood. Full court pressure continues from the Hillers. Here comes Rodman. Gets it over. 3-ball attempt, and he's got it. Ty Pindell, his second straight 3.
Westwood ended up taking the 75-63 win. Robert Lariano Alejandro tallied 31 points for the Wolverines in the Westwood win. On Saturday, January 10th, Hiller girls hockey hosted Canton.
Shot attempt was intercepted. Abby Craven was looking for the shot. Approaching, backhander, it's in. Right up the ice she goes, and Canton has a 1-0 lead at 11:44 left to go. And that was just great skating up the ice by Shannon Lane. Crossed by Lane, and getting in the way of that pass was Craven as she approaches and rings it in! Top shelf! Abby Craven with the score for the Hillers. An absolute blast into the top of the net.
Abby Craven nets the game-tying goal with 4:21 left in the first. It would stay a 1-1 game heading into the second period.
Sent over by Vicente. Now pass Campbell. Campbell gets it back. There's a shot out in front of the net, and it's put in. Yeah, it's tough luck. You're coming out of the power play. You get through it, and then another penalty. Canton able to get all kinds of pressure going, and Abby Stock has the second Canton goal of the game at 12:44 left to go in this second period.
Canton nets 2 goals in the second period, and despite good pressure from the Hillers, they come up short, and Canton grabs the 3-1 win. The Bulldogs of Canton are now 4-2-1 on the season. Hillers fall to 3-5. On Tuesday, December 30th, Hiller boys basketball visited Milford. HCAM had the game live to close out 2025.
Is Jason Stokes. Milford has taken the last 2 meetings by very slim numbers against Hopkinton, so the Hillers looking for some revenge here. No good on that jumper by Mateus De Silva. He's denied by Cho. Here comes the Hillers. To the rack, yes, count it. To the rack, yes, count it. Gavin Cho with the bucket. Full court pressure. And it's taken away by Kim. Feeds it over, up and in. Goes Miles Heavey. And the Hillers on a run, get another turnover. Over to Elstrom Hall, up with the left hand, count it. And Milford needs a timeout. The Hillers on a 6-0 run.
Hillers led 24-15 heading to the second quarter.
Connor McDally with a great finish. Milford looking for a response. De Silva driving in, up and in. He goes with the right hand. Quick pace basketball here, looking for the buzzer beater at the buzzer. No, just short is Josh Kim.
Milford outscored Hopkinton in the second quarter, 19-14, and it was a 38-34 Hopkinton lead heading into the halftime break.
Connor Wynn gets it in. Contested is McNally, but he's able to maintain possession. Spins around the defender, up and in with the right hand. Connor McNally with 10 points for the Hillers. In a steal here. Up with the left hand, yes! Rocco Spinelli. And Milford needs a timeout. Kicks it out. Now to the corner, Manny Vilbrum. No good off the side of the hoop. Hillers have it. Collected by Wynn. Wynn to Spinelli for 3. Yes! Rocco Spinelli feeling it.
The Hiller offense goes off in the third quarter, and Hopkinton's defense proved to be overwhelming as they outscored Milford 21-9 in the third frame and would end up taking the 72-61 win. Josh Kim led the way for the Hillers with 17 points. To start off the new year, Hopkinton Hillers boys basketball hosted Westboro on Friday, January 2nd. It was a back-and-forth battle throughout the game.
On the entry, Lubin gets it underneath to Ellison. Can't finish. Loose ball collected by Heavey. Fires it up court. The buck fake, the shot, the bucket. Josh Kim. 8 seconds left to go. Hillers looking for the buzzer beater. Spins around the defender. Puts up the shot, and it falls in. Right at the buzzer.
Long two, at 1 foot over the line, 1 foot behind the line, but get the roll.
That took a big hop out of the hoop before finally falling in.
Trapping the ball.
Lee for three, no good. Rebound McNally and the Hillers. Connor McNally taking it coast to coast, kicks it over. There's Spinelli driving in, up and in. And giving the Hillers a little taste of their own medicine, they get a turnover. Peterson up and in. Over to Wynn. Driving down the kick out. Spinelli for three. Got it! Around the defender, gets it underneath. McNally contested, stolen away. And that will do it. What a way to close out the second quarter.
Really ugly.
Pierre Lewis on the entry, full court pressure by the Hillers. Gets it over to the far side, stolen away by McNally. And now a battle for it. And Bauschman able to collect. Bauschman underneath, swings it out. Coming in from the wing, Joe. Trying to get it back to Bauschman, went off his hand. And that shot attempt by Wynn rejected. Quick break, Westboro, up and in. Aiden Chan. A long pass down court, McNally. Kicks it out, 3-ball, Spinelli, got it! Peterson, coast to coast. Up for the shot, yes.
Peterson using the glass to his advantage. Nice drive down the lane.
It's a 4-point game. Here comes
I heard him call glass in the county.
Spinelli pump fakes, fires it now, knocks it down.
Get their own rebound and put it in.
There's Spinelli, he's always a threat. Launches it, got it! And gets it into Cho. And they'll put it up, no good. And another one there, no good. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Driving in, gets it to the corner. Elstrom Hall, back to Cho. Down to Elstrom Hall. Driving in, through the defenders, yes!
The Hillers hung on for their third straight win as they take down Westboro 66-64 and improve to 3-2 on the season. Westboro falls to 1-6. Josh Kim and Rocco Spinelli contributed 14 points each for the Hillers. On Saturday, January 3rd, Hiller girls hockey seek their second win in a row and got things started off very well against the Ashland Co-op.
Near side. And here comes Jean. Approaching, there's a shot and she's got a score! Top shelf Lucy Jean makes it 1-0. Jammed up in the corner now along the end boards. And trying to stuff it in, and she will! The Hillers take advantage of another power play. Abby Craven with the score. Collect, here she comes up the near side. Racing in, around the defender, a backhander, and a score for the Hillers! Lucy Jean does it again.
It was a 3-0 Hiller lead heading into the second period.
Nikki. Sent out now to the slot. There's a shot and it's in! A great feed from Grace Hennigan and Morgan Beeler pops it in. Into Hiller territory. Hopkinton bringing it right back up. Here comes Beeler. Beeler racing in. There's a shot and she goes coast to coast. Right up to the net and just pops it in. She pushes it up to Jean, and here comes Lucy Jean. Look out. Near side circle. Oh, another one. And how about another hat trick for Lucy Jean? And a nice job by Beeler getting around the defender. She's on a breakaway. Closing in, out in front, a backhander, and another score! Morgan Beeler putting on the moves, is able to take it out in front and make it a 7-0 game at 1:31 left to go in the second period.
The Hillers had 4 more goals in the second period, and that would implement the running clock throughout the third as the Hillers took the 7-0 win versus Ashland. Lucy Jean and Morgan Beeler each recorded a hat trick, 3 goals each. Abby Crayman also had a goal for the Hillers as they improved to 2-4 overall. Ashland falls to 0-5. On Monday, December 22nd, Hiller girls hockey hosted Auburn. It was a 1-0 Auburn lead heading into the second period.
Good moment to go back on that power play. Popped off the glass by Tatum on the far side. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Picked up by Beeler, who sends it over. Pass by Hedger over to Raymond. Crayman looking to approach. Into the right circle, and it's in! A score for the Hillers! Abby Crayman rings it in!
It remained a 1-1 game into the third period.
He picked up along the near side and wristed across the ice by Connor. And now approaching, and right off the bat, Lauren Connor gets a breakaway and puts Auburn back on top. 29 seconds in. She takes it into Auburn territory, into the left circle, trying to get through the defenders. And a shot, and it's deflected in! Lucy Jean takes it up in Auburn territory. Gets help from Morgan Beeler in front of the net.
Auburn would hang on for the 4-3 win. On Tuesday, December 23rd, the Hiller boys basketball team had their first home game of the season and tried to capture their first win after 2 road losses against Millis in front of a pumped-up crowd. Myself, Tom Nappy, on the call.
Out of the corner. He pump fakes, trying to get it back to Fortier, and it's stripped away. Elstrom Hall with it for the Hillers. Feeds it over to Cho, and now into Riley. Back out to Cho. 3-ball, yes! Gavin Cho with a pair of threes to start off the night. Set for the entry. Great atmosphere here the day before Christmas Eve at the Athletic Center. And a great shot there. Rocco Spinelli, the junior, for 3. But Millis trying to respond here. What a block by Gavin Cho. Hillers get the turnover. Cho takes it down, feeds it to the corner. Up for 3, yes! Rocco Spinelli. Spinelli has it. Spinelli coast to coast. No good. Batted in the air. Watante able to keep it for the Hillers as he kicks it out. And now a shot from the lane. Yes! Rocco Spinelli from 3-point land. Peavy takes it right back up. Down the lane, shot from the block. And a good block by Lohr. A steal for the Hillers, and how about that? Miles Evie says, "You're going to block me? Well, I'm going to steal it away and draw a foul." Plus get a bucket, of course. An and one opportunity. The game, it looks like, and the first-year Millis coach wants to cool him down. Elstrom Hall feeds it over, up and in. Andrew Boschman. McNally gets it over to Spinelli, trying to feed it into the interior, knocked back out to Spinelli. Up top, Elstrom Hall behind the back dribble, feeds it underneath. And the kick out, 3-ball, yes! Connor Wynn. Cho feeds it over to Wynn. Now, if you're the Hillers, you're going to maybe hang on to the ball a little longer here as Connor Wynn knocks it down from 3-point land. Cho back to Wynn. Over to the short corner now. McNally feeds it out. 3-ball, yes! Rocco Spinelli strikes.
Hillers took the win 69-58 and improved to 1-2 on the season. Millis falls to 3-1 on the young season. For the Hillers, Rocco Spinelli led the way with 16 points. Gavin Cho contributed 15 for the Hillers in their home opening win. On Saturday, December 27th, the Mary Corby tournament kicked off. In Game 1, Hopkinton defeated Medford 74-37. A big offensive performance for the Hillers. In Game 2, Milford got the win over Algonquin 45-33, which set up a Hopkinton-Milford Mary Corby championship rematch. Hiller girls hockey also hosted Wellesley on Saturday, December 27th.
Flipped up the ice by Jillian Sostet. And now along the end boards. Sent out to the slot, and that's a score! What a great way to get started for the Hillers. And that was Catherine Kelly to Nina Altier. A great feed from Kelly and the junior out of Tri-County, Nina Altier, with the first score of the game at 13:34 left to go here in the first period. Galera. Hillers try to respond with some pressure of their own as Jean racing up. 5 seconds left. Closing in towards the net, and she puts it in! A buzzer beater by Lucy Jean! Unbelievable! Right at the buzzer, she races in and pops it in.
Hopkinton led 2-0 heading into the second period.
On the near side. Hiller girls basketball got a win earlier today. Lucy Jean racing into Wellesley territory. Wrister, wow! Rings it in, top shelf! What a shot! There was just no stopping that shot. An incredible blast from the near side.
Another Lucy Jean goal makes it a 3-0 Hiller lead heading into the third.
Beeler sends it across. Nice feed to Jean. Jean closing in. Gets around the defender, a backhander, and she's got another one. How about a hat trick for Lucy Jean? Sent back to the neutral zone and now deflected back in Hiller territory. Along the far side, putting on the moves, closing in. Into the circle and rings it in. And guess who? Lucy Jean again. Score number 4 for Lucy. Goal number 5 for the Hillers.
4 goals from Lucy Jean overall, and the Hiller girls co-op team capture the 5-1 win over Wellesley Lincoln Sudbury Co-op, improving to 1-4 on the season. On Sunday, December 28th, Day 2 of the Mary Corby tournament took place. In Game 1, the consolation game, Algonquin took the win over Medford. In the championship game, Hopkinton got big offensive performances from Tegan Restaghini and Gabby Simulus, and some great defense took the 41-33 win and their second straight Mary Corby Invitational Holiday Tournament title. The Hopkinton girls are now 4-0 on the young season. On Tuesday, December 16th, Hiller girls basketball opened their season versus Dedham at Hopkinton High School. Wally Henneberry and myself, Tom Nappy, on the call.
Opening tip and start off with possession. The kick out, the shot, the bucket. Count it. Sophia Whiteman-Krause with the first bucket of the 2025-2026 winter season for the Hillers. Selected by the Hillers is snagging it away. Restaghini to the rack. Count it. Coast to coast goes Tegan Restaghini. Around the perimeter they go. 3 ball. Count it. Tegan Restaghini knocks it down. She has 5 points here in these early minutes, and Dedham needs a timeout. A 9-2 Hiller lead. Restaghini with it. Drive it in. Feeds the corner. 3 attempt. Yes! Gabby Simulus knocking it down. Elena Vallis collecting. Drive it in. Restaghini kicks it out. Long two, no good. Put back. Rabinovich, yes. Three gets it to the corner. Chatting back to Simulus. Now to the left wing. Restaghini, yes, count it. Tegan Restaghini dialing long distance. And the Hillers have the rebound. Collected by Whiteman Krause.
Great rebound by Whiteman
8
Krause.
seconds left on the clock. Restaghini feeds it over. 3-ball Chatton, yes! Julia Chatton! And everything clicking for the Hillers here in the season opener as they will go into the halftime break with a 40-12 lead.
The Hillers get the offense going, keep the offense going, and the defense shut down Dedham as they took a dominant 63-28 win in their season and home opener. Tegan Restaghini led the way in scoring for the Hillers with 17 points. On Wednesday, December 17th, it was a Hiller hockey doubleheader versus Dedham. The girls got things started off
with the opening shot of the game as here comes Dedham. Hadley Benson flying up the ice, takes it up the slot, and puts it in the net. And just like that, Dedham strikes first. Left to go in the second period. And racing up the ice, this is Benson. Look out, backhander, what a pass! And it's popped in by Julie Cano. Coming up the far side, a wrister turned away. Collects it along the end boards, trying to stuff it in. And that is put in. A score for the Hillers. Great pressure by Beeler, and then Abby Cramen coming through. Break, up the ice, sends it to her left, and that pass intercepted, getting in the way to break it up, Benson. And then a backhander as the punch starts out by Jean, and she ties it up. And how about that? Lucy Jean in the right place at the right time. Back into the neutral zone. 48 seconds left on the Dedham power play. Here's Moreno. Moreno from the high slot, wrists it in.
It was a good battle, but Dedham took the 4-2 win. Hiller girls fall to 0-2. In part two of the doubleheader, the Hiller boys hosted Dedham.
Traffic jam there. Puck finally squirts out. Rivera sends it up. And now to the right circle. A shot and a score! Sam Spavento rings it in! Quick puck movement by the Hillers, paying off there. Sam Spavento all alone along the right circle, able to pop it in and tie the game at one apiece. The end boards are now sent up to their side. Slow roller into Hiller territory. It's Thodiel up against Willard. Willard sends it out in front, and Dedham responds. Willard able to send it out to the slot. McDougall was in the right spot at the right time, and Dedham reclaims the lead.
Penalties kept the Hillers short-handed for many crucial moments, and they fell in the TVL Large battle 5-2. On Friday, December 19th, Hiller girls basketball hosted Holliston, and HCAM brought back the legendary Chuck Joseph for the call alongside another legend, Mike Tarosian.
Well, she's reading the court. Gets Murph. Murph lines up, nails a three.
Sweet three. Nothing but net.
Getting everybody in their right place. Chatton goes inside to Abby. Abby, that's her game.
There it is right there.
You let her get set in that low post, boy. She's going to hurt you. Sophia looking for some action away from the ball. Boy, she squeezed through there on that one.
That's a little slip over the feet.
Murph's got it. Let's go up the court. She's got Tegan. Tegan looking to attack. Goes through. She saw the opening. She saw she could split the defense. That was a great. Sophia Lynch is 33 for Holliston. Kate coming into the lane. She's made good progress. Dishes it off to Tegan. No good. Monopoly puts it in. That counts. Very alert. Ada had a great third quarter there.
The Hiller girls took a dominant 61-20 win and improved to 2-0. On Saturday, December 20th, It was another epic Hiller hockey doubleheader. In the first leg, the Hiller girls hosted Westwood.
On the face-off is Bridget Lewis against Finnegan. And a shot there and another score. Well, the puck came loose. It was just floating there in the slot for the taking. And Bridget Lewis, the freshman center, pops it in for Westwood.
The Hillers battled hard, but Westwood took the 5-0 win. In part 2 of the Saturday, December 20th doubleheader, the Hiller boys team hosted King Philip. It was a scoreless game heading into the second period.
But both have expired. We are at even strength 5-on-5. Here comes Matt Crotty. Sends it over and turned away. Hillers have it coming up the ice. Raph Martin sends it to the far side. Give and go. Martin with the shot and turned away. Then it's put in off the deflection. Connor Merkel. Well, that's what you want to do if you're the Hillers. Keep the pressure on, keep that puck near the net. They get it near the net there, able to catch a deflection, and Merkel able to pop it in.
Hillers led 1-0 into the third period.
Trying to come away with it, pokes back into Hiller territory, and there's a shot and a score. Tommy Frazier.
King Philip ties things up, and the Hillers survive a 5-minute major disadvantage, and the game goes into overtime, tied at 1 apiece.
For Grady Biancoli. Biancoli putting on the moves, closing in, into the right circle, and he rings it in, and that's your game. Grady Biancoli wins it for King Philip.
King Philip nets the game-winning sudden death goal with 1:31 left in OT, and they take the 2-1 victory. Hillers fall to 0-3. King Philip improves to 2-0. On Thursday, December 11th, Hillers swimming started off the season with their meet against Westwood. The Westwood boys edged out the Hillers for a 98-70 win. The Westwood girls escape with a narrow 88-79 win in the season opening meet. On Saturday, December 13th, we had a season opening hockey doubleheader with our friends from Westwood Media Center at the Canton Ice House. In the first game, defending Division III state champion Medfield girls hosted the Hopkinton Hillers Nipmuc Tri-County Girls Co-op team.
On net or to the net, you have to make sure it gets by.
Here they come once again into the left circle, out in front, and she tries to poke it in. It's wrapped up. That shot by Lucy Jean along the left circle. There's a wrister, and what a shot by Leah Carlson. The freshman rings it in. It's 2-0 Medfield.
In an offensive battle, Medfield took the 7-4 win. In part 2 of the Canton Ice House doubleheader, it was the Hiller boys taking on Westwood. Morgan Donahue and myself, Tom Nappy, on the call.
Starting lineups for the Hillers. You got Corey DeCosta, Connor Merkel.
Oh,
we got a goal right off the bat. Shot from the point by Matt Donovan. And the Wolverines get the early goal.
Well, that was quick.
Wolverines going back the other way. Nolan Lewis chips it in, battling in the far side corner with Spazvento. Wolverines come away with it. Gonna send it over to Dempsey, and he scores! That's a goal by Will Dempsey, and that's his first varsity goal.
It was a game that featured a ton of shots, and opportunities for both teams, but the two Westwood goals in the opening 68 seconds of the game would be the determining factor, and the Wolverines of Westwood took the 2-0 victory over the Hillers. Hopkinton girls and boys hockey next hosts Dedham on Wednesday, December 17th, and a girls-boys doubleheader at the New England Sports Center. On Friday, 4 tremendous Hiller athletes signed their letters of intent to compete in collegiate athletics. HCAM was on the scene.
I'm Kendall Tom. I'm going to Bentley University to play lacrosse.
My name is Ryan Morin. I will be attending the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I'm going to be competing at the collegiate level in track and field, specifically the throwing events.
I'm Mason Barrows. I'm going to Sacred Heart University for track and field.
Hi, I'm Caroline Osmond. I'll be going to Assumption University to play softball.
I loved the campus on my official visit, and I also just love the coach, and the academics there are like the perfect balance of like rigorous, but also like I can have fun at the same time. So that's why I chose Bentley.
I really love the campus, and on my official visit, the team was really welcoming and just made me feel really belonging. Like I had a spot on the team, just really the culture just draw me in.
It was really the coaches of Sacred Heart. I thought they were very supportive, very nice environment.
I really loved the feel of the campus, and I loved the options it gave me academically, and all the girls are so nice, and I really like the future of the possible future of the program, and I hope I can contribute to that.
I'm going to be studying business. I think I'm going to go in undecided business just to get a wide range of all of what Bentley has to offer.
I'm planning on studying economics and finance.
I'm doing some type of biology, some science, something like that.
I'm going to be going into pre-physical therapy.
The past 3.5 years have been the best 3.5 years of my entire lacrosse career. I think it built me up to be who I am as a person and a player today.
It was great. There's a lot of competition here, and my coach, Mr. Donahue, he was amazing. He really helped me out a lot, and he introduced me to all of the events and all the different techniques, and he's really helped me grow as an athlete and as a person.
Best 4 years of my life, really. It's a lot of fun.
It was great. Last year we made it to the Final Four, so that was really fun for me. I hope to do that again this year, and I had a ton of fun with these girls, and I'm really excited for one more season with all of them.
I think my favorite memory of my lacrosse career has been this past season, 2025. I think we did really well, just record-wise, but I also think we came together as a team that I think was really special.
It was this spring, and it was our state relay meet, and we were behind, and the team needed a big throw for me in the discus event, and I was able to get one, a PR, and we won, and we medaled. It was amazing. A great feeling.
Definitely freshman year, outdoor season is probably the best season I've had. Just a lot of good memories.
I would definitely say winning Final Four last year and being able to hold that trophy and officially say that we were going to state semifinals.
The upcoming season, I think my primary goal is to go in, I think, fearless, because as a freshman, I think you can be a little scared, but I think I want to go in laying everything out on the table as a freshman at Bentley.
This upcoming season, definitely probably a nationals appearance, and maybe a state title. That'd be nice, at least the sectionals.
I want to get some school records for the jumps, so long jump and triple jump.
Definitely hoping to make it back to where we were, hoping to continue to contribute for my team and, make a good run in playoffs.
Stand right in between. Yeah, come together. Yeah, right there. Perfect.
Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Joining us on the first show of 2026, we got Morgan Donahue from Westwood Media Center, and we got Jared Keene. Guys, how are you?
Doing great, Tom. Great, Jared. Happy New Year, guys. And
Happy New Year, guys.
Excited to be
Can you
back
believe
together.
it? It's crazy. 2026.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get down to business. Breaking news right off the bat. Just before the show, I think it was you that texted me, Jared. Uh, but John Harbaugh fired from the Baltimore Ravens after 18 years. That is unbelievable.
Wow.
Uh, I guess, what are your thoughts on this? Did he deserve to get fired? Should they have given him another year? Jared, you could start.
Probably should have given him another year, maybe a little bit harsh. Did they have the season they wanted to probably have this year? Maybe not. But he's clearly proven during his time there that he can be a successful coach and take teams far. Um, yeah, I mean, he's certainly gonna have his pick of jobs, that's for sure, with the you know, coaching insanity that's going on right now. But yeah, again, maybe a little bit harsh. Again, great coach. Certainly has done a lot, like I said, during his time with the Ravens. Again, like I said, proved to be a successful coach and, be a leader of men, and that's what he's done. So, you know, uh, yeah, I mean, a little harsh again losing that game the other night too, especially on a missed field goal. Probably one of the crazier endings I've seen in a while, but yeah, probably should have given him maybe another year. I would give him probably another year. Yeah.
Morgan, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me because say they make that field goal, he's probably coming back, So like
Yep.
that's what's going on here. I mean, there's clearly something that is going on that we don't know of. I mean, this is a guy. It's not like they went two and 14, to whatever they're 2-16. They didn't. 2-15, excuse me. They had a solid year. They went through injuries too. Like, your best player was hurt and they were still finding ways to win. They still have like really good nucleus of players. Flowers, a BC kid, is I think he was playing his best football, towards the end of the season. And you haven't even gone through like the upcoming draft to where, you can change the season. Look what the Patriots did. They just went from, 4 wins to 4 losses in one year. And part of that obviously the coaching change, but you got to look at the free agency, how that helped. You got to look at the draft, how that helped. And these things happen. I mean, this is a guy 18 years. If you were in the NFL for 18 years, that's great. That's incredible. You are of the 1% of the 1%. But when you are 18 years on one team, you are of the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Yep.
So you gotta, I just don't understand it. I think maybe they're looking for a change. What does change is, you don't have Ozzie Newsome in there anymore, who really understood the value and the connection. They had a really good thing going. So egos come into play. But like Jared said, I'd imagine he's going to be picked up pretty quickly. He'll have the option to pick which team he wants, and it always starts with a good quarterback, which he's smart to do. But yeah, don't understand it, and it's definitely shocking news for the day.
Well, I think it was. I guess I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I do think Baltimore should consider a change, and clearly they did, and they made a change because they have had very talented rosters the last few years, uh, for many years, and they haven't been able to do much. They go to the playoffs, they can't can barely get past the first round. Every once in a while they do, but you don't see them in AFC championships. You don't see them in Super Bowls, and they've had that caliber of talent in Baltimore. And I think this was the last straw. Uh, even though they are consistently around that 500 level and they are, looking pretty good, uh, I think this was it. I think the end all was the fact that they couldn't win that Pittsburgh game. And it was a winnable game for them, but they just couldn't string anything together. I mean, we just watched Pittsburgh blow, clinching the division against the Browns. And then, you got this Pittsburgh Baltimore game, winner take all, and Baltimore can't win it. And I just think that was the last straw. They just said, this guy can't get to the next level. We're going to be stuck here if we keep Harbaugh. We're going to be stuck at this level where we're going to most likely make the playoffs or maybe
just barely not make it. But, can we win more than a round even if we do make it? And I think that's been running in the minds of Baltimore ownership the last few years because they still got a great array of talent over there, like you mentioned with Zay Flowers and of course Lamar Jackson. They got a solid backup quarterback. They got a good defense. They got a lot of pieces. They don't
Tom,
need much.
I got to pose the question then for you. And I don't disagree with what you're saying, but does Baltimore have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl if they have Harbaugh coming back next year, or the totally new coach who's going to implement new culture, new probably some new scheme systems, things like that? What do they have better chances of winning a Super Bowl with?
I don't know. I guess it depends who they bring in. There's going to be You're right. There's going to be a transition period with a new guy for sure, especially with a new system. But I think after a while, I mean, when do you take the gamble? When do you take the gamble at making a change and seeing what happens? And I think they're actually choosing a pretty good time to do it because they still have a lot of talent there. So
Yeah.
I feel like they'll still be a very competitive team pretty much as long as you throw someone remotely competent in there. I think you'd rather do it while you have all this talent than when you don't, because then you're completely rebuilding.
I think of coaches like Andy Reid, who for a bunch of years he was always a bridesmaid, and it didn't take him right away with Kansas City either. So it was a while. I mean, I don't think he never won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. He took them to a Super Bowl, never won one. Um, but so like you have to look at it, like, it's very complex. And the seasons are very complex with the ups and downs and all that stuff.
I'll pose a question for you guys. We'll go with a Steve Watson themed question.
Oh
What if they
boy. Oh
what
boy.
if they brought in Bill Belichick?
Oh man.
That's one he would certainly consider.
It's a great job. I mean, you
Yeah.
got the talent there.
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean, of the
like
jobs that are open right now, it's definitely going to be one of the better jobs in terms of the guys that have been fired in the last 48 hours.
I think it's the
Um,
best job available.
Oh yeah, and
yeah.
he would bring Ed Reed to be his safeties coach. Like he loved Ed Reed. But you know what the also thing is too? I think he still has a chip on his shoulder about the Patriots. They are very cordial. I think he wants to beat them. I mean, there's no question. Tom, I think, wanted to beat them when he came into. Of course he did. When he came into town with the Buccaneers,
Oh, of
which is a
course.
great game. That's when we all thought Mac Jones was like, okay, he just went toe to toe with the great one. But I think that's something that's appealing to him. Also, like Maryland is really, I think that's home for him. I think that had been home, and he grew up in the Maryland area.
Right. That's very
So I
true.
think that's a place that's close to his heart.
I think
So,
he's gonna be all over it. I think he's
yeah,
gonna be sending his resume in, being like, "Yeah, hire me."
He probably
Now,
should be. He
now the
should be.
rumor has that
Will
he
he?
is.
yeah.
Go
Will he?
ahead,
We
Jack.
don't know, but he probably should be.
I'll tell you where he won't go is Atlanta. They kind of
Yep.
gave him the run around, and you don't do that to Bill Belichick.
No,
Right. Well,
you don't.
the rumor is Belichick's out there looking for an NFL job. So we'll see. We'll see if Steve gets his long-awaited wish of Bill Belichick getting
I'm gonna
back in
pose.
the
I'm gonna
NFL.
pose one question to you though, Tom, and that is, Morgan made the point. I don't think Harbaugh is fired today if they make that kick the other night. And again, is that Harbaugh's fault? Does that fall on Harbaugh for a guy blowing a 40-yard field goal to win the game? Um,
Yeah, you got a guy
like
that.
probably not, but like, yeah, I mean, again, we're probably not having this conversation if he makes that kick the other night because they probably don't let him go. Like, do you think they still I guess the question is, do you think they still let him go even if they make the playoffs?
No, I don't. I think, well, especially like if they made it, they're obviously not letting him go at this moment. But I don't. They might have given him another year if he made the playoffs. That might have
They're
been
scary.
the end all be all right
They're
there.
they're a scary team in the playoffs. They can make a deep run until the Super Bowl. Like they have kind of like that kryptonite is the Super Bowl itself.
They can,
But
but they haven't, and that's the problem.
but
Yeah.
look at like the Giants. The Giants were never like that team that would always like scare you, but they would be a different team come playoffs, and anything can happen in the playoffs. So it was just really odd that you let this guy go who if a kick went through the uprights, this guy's planning for a football game this week.
It's so funny side story. Well, me and Steve were at the fantastic Pats went over Miami the other night. We were talking about will the loser of this game fire their head coach? Because Mike Tomlin is obviously on the hot seat a little bit for Pittsburgh. He's been there forever. They haven't done much in the playoffs. And then, of course, you have John Harbaugh. And, a lot of these Baltimore teams on paper, they look like world beaters and Super Bowl champions, but they haven't even gotten close to that level. So will the loser fire their team? And I think he asked me who has a better chance of getting fired, and I was pretty adamant saying I don't think the Steelers will ever fire Tomlin, but so I said Harbaugh. So I guess I was right there. I mean, it is shocking. I am kind of shocked by it. Like I don't think I expected it today. I expected maybe one more year, but I guess at some point you got to rip the Band-Aid off and see what's out there if you want to go to that next level.
I hate to equate it to hockey, but the GM has a lot to do with it. And if the GM feels pressure as much as the coach does on an unsuccessful year, so
Right.
sometimes they do that to alleviate the pressure and say this was the problem. So we're off to a good start. We're gonna, but then in the Bruins situation, they do this and their coaches win Stanley Cups and they take no accountability at the GM level. From multiple good coaches that they've let
I
go.
don't think that's necessarily just a hockey thing. I think that's just
Yeah.
a sports thing in
That's a
general.
sports thing, probably.
But but I think that's philosophy there. I think the GM for I think the GM for the Ravens is feeling the pressure and he thinks that, hey, this is going to alleviate the pressure. This gets me another year. We have to be successful this next year. And I think it had that kind of panic, to that decision.
Well,
I
I'll tell
think
you,
they have to. Sorry, I think the last point I'm going to make on this is I think they have to address the defensive side of the ball. I think that's where they've probably been let down the last couple of years. Sure, they had some injuries on the offensive side of the ball this year,
especially this year.
which affects the performance, but they got lit up in a few games this year deep in their secondary. Yeah, I think they're going to make some changes there. I mean, Kyle Hamilton is a great player. We know that, but yeah, I mean, they got burned far, far, far too many times. Again, whether it was deep, over the middle, whatever. So again, I think, I think they got burned by the run, quite a bit this year too. So yeah, I think that's probably where they're going to have to make some changes. But again, what do I know?
And what do any of us know?
Right. That's why we get paid the big bucks, boys.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a really interesting offseason. That's
Yep.
for sure. And John Harbaugh, I mean, he's going to get another job, no problem.
Mhm.
If I'm like Arizona or something, I'm all over that. I think
But
he'd be-
also, I mean, let's put it this way too. Like, who's the coach? Who's coaching over in Denver right now? The old Cowboys coach. Um,
Wait, who was coaching there?
John is it Peyton? Peyton.
Oh, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, Sean.
Old
So look at
New
that.
Orleans coach. Yeah.
So look at Sean
I was like,
Payton.
wait, what?
He didn't have a great year last year, and kudos to Denver to stick with him. And look at the year they had, like absolutely incredible.
Speaking of that, I was kind of shocked that the Raiders let go of Pete Carroll after 1 year.
I wasn't, only because of how awful they were this year. They were
Yeah,
absolutely
so bad.
atrocious.
Yeah.
I think when you're that bad on that level, you have to do something. And again, I know like maybe again, sure, they could have kept on Pete Carroll another couple of years, but they were horrendous this year.
But their
We all
roster
know
was
that.
horrendous. They didn't give Pete Carroll any talent to work with.
Yeah, but no, when your team finds ways to lose, you need a new, like they're
They
not
lost some bad teams this year, and they lost some really crappy ways, and they did not perform on either
did
side of
beat-
the ball,
they
really,
did-
in
they did
any
beat
three
the,
facets of the game.
They did beat the future Super Bowl champ though, which I guess is a crown for them. But it's interesting because I think that